India.
Good evening. You're with us on DD India. Welcome to Express News, where we update you with the top 100 news of the day from across the country and the world in a quick, succinct manner. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let us begin. Cabinet approves 4,400 crore rupees investment in ECGC Limited in 5 years to provide support to exporters as well as banks. Move to help create 59 lakh new jobs, including 2.6 lakh in the formal sector. Cabinet approves doubling of 111-kilometre long Rajkot-Kanaloose railway line at a total estimated cost of 1,080 crore rupees. The Cabinet also approved doubling of Nimach-Ratlam railway line at a total estimated cost of 1,095.88 crore rupees. Union Minister for Railways Ashwini Vaishnav said both railway projects will be implemented under the EPC contracts. The Cabinet approves continuation of PM-POSHAN Abhiyan for 5 years with a financial outlay of 54,000 crore rupees from the central government and 31,000 crore rupees from the state governments and UT administrations. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan said that POSHAN scheme aims at providing nutritious food to people. He also expressed hope that this scheme will turn into a mass movement in the coming days. The Cabinet approves continuation of the National Export Insurance Account Scheme and an infusion of 1,650 crore rupees grant in aid over 5 years. The move will enable NEIA support project exports worth up to 33,000 crore rupees. BJP President JP NADDA addressed SHAKTI KENDRA conveners and in charges of UTTARAKHAND BJP ahead of the assembly polls in the state. The BJP chief appealed to the booth workers to join the campaign to strengthen the party. BJP chief JP NADDA expressed hope that BJP will win with a huge majority under the leadership of Pushkar Singh Dhami in the upcoming Uttarakhand assembly elections. Heavy rains have been lashing Marathwada and some districts of Vidarbha for the last few days due to the formation of cyclone Gulab in the Bay of Bengal. As a result, flood-like conditions have been prevailing in many places and houses and farms in many places have been severely damaged due to waterlogging. The Indian Meteorological Department IMD has forecast heavy to very heavy rains in the next 24 hours in Marathwada, central Maharashtra and Konkan. Residents of riverside villages have been alerted by the local administration. Political crisis in Punjab took a new turn today. Former Punjab Chief Minister and Congress leader Captain AMARINDER Singh reached the residence of Union Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi today. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi said that he has spoken to Navjot Singh Sidhu and asked his sit and talk to resolve the issue. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi has called a cabinet meeting to resolve the crisis. Congress leader Manish Tiwari has expressed deep distress over the Punjab Congress crisis. He said that Navjot Singh Sidhu could not handle the responsibility that was given to him by the people of the party. Meanwhile, the BJP has expressed concerns over political crisis in Punjab. Addressing media persons, BJP spokesperson SAMBIT PATRA said that stability in Punjab is crucial for national security since Punjab is a border state. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra hit out at Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel for threatening media. Sambit Patra said that due to Rahul Gandhi's failure in Punjab, the Congress is trying to divert the attention by targeting media and journalists. The NIA court has refused to grant house arrest to dismissed Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vajay, accused in the Antilia bomb scare case. He has sought for house arrest for 3 months after undergoing an open heart surgery on September 13th. Author and academic Raghuvendra Tanwar called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Modi in a tweet later said that had an outstanding discussion with author and academic Raghuvendra Tanwar. He spoke to me about his work on India's partition as well as other aspects relating to history. He's a fine mind and I'm glad to see his passion towards history. The Vice President addressed the BSF officers during his visit to the force's JODHPUR frontier headquarters. The Vice President said that emerging geopolitical situation in our neighborhood is likely to pose new challenges to the border guarding forces. The Vice President added that the use of drones for smuggling arms and drugs has become the latest challenge we have to deal with. Union MSME Minister RANE launches India's Export Initiative and India Exports 2021 portal. He expressed confidence of India driving the export growth with the help of MSMEs and achieving the target of $400 billion by this fiscal. COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 87 crores. Over 87 crore 66 lakh vaccine doses have been administered across the country. So far, over 54 lakh 13,000 vaccine doses have been administered in the last 24 hours. The recovery of 28,178 patients in the last 24 hours has increased the cumulative tally of recovered patients to 3 crore 29 lakh 86,180. Consequently, India's recovery rate increases to 97.83%. India reports daily new cases less than 20,000. 18,870 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Active caseload presently stands at 2,82,520, which is the lowest in 194 days. Active cases account for less than 1% of total cases, currently at 0.84%, the lowest since March last year. Weekly positivity rate stands at 1.82%, which is less than 3% for the last 96 days. Daily positivity rate was reported to be 1.25%, which is less than 3% for the last 30 days. The testing capacity across the country continues to be ramped up. India has so far conducted over 56 crore 74 lakh cumulative tests, out of which over 15 lakh tests were conducted in the last 24 hours. More than 85 crore 42 lakh vaccine doses have been provided to states and UTs under the nationwide campaign. Over 4 crore 57 lakh balance and unutilized vaccine doses are still available with states and UTs, with over 83 lakh 80,000 doses in pipeline. The Tamil Nadu government has announced the reopening of schools for classes 1st to 8th from 1st of November. The students will return to schools after a gap of 19 months. Physical classes for classes 9th to 12th have already been allowed from 1st of September this year. In the wake of upcoming festive season, Uttar Pradesh government has revised the COVID-19 guidelines for holding wedding and other functions in the state. The state government has now permitted conducting wedding functions and other gatherings in open spaces. Former Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida won a ruling Liberal Democratic Party leadership race, a victory that virtually ensures he will succeed Yoshihide Suga as the Prime Minister within days. In his acceptance speech, Kishida vowed to lead a transformed party in a general election due within weeks and continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, which has battered Japan's economy. Kishida defeated former Defense and Foreign Minister Taro Kono, seen as an outspoken maverick, in a second-round run-off vote. Two female contenders, Sane Takiche and Seiko Noda, dropped out after the first round. US President Joe Biden released a video of the first ever in-person Quad Leaders Summit. Joe Biden said that they are committed to their partnership and to an Indo-Pacific region that is free, open, inclusive and resilient. US Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley said that the US missed warning signs about the coming failure of leadership and will in its Afghan allies that ultimately led to their collapse and the Taliban takeover on August 15th. In Germany, the process towards the formation of a coalition government has started as the centre-left Social Democrats, SPD, led by Olaf Scholz, claim a narrow victory over incumbent Chancellor Angela Merkel's Christian Democratic Union (CDU). North Korea has claimed it successfully tested a new hypersonic missile called Hwasong-8. The state media said that the new missile was one of the 5 most important new weapon systems laid out in its 5-year military development plan. On the 10th day of the eruption of the new volcano on La Palma, the lava finally arrived on the coast after having destroyed hundreds of homes and other buildings. With revolutionary laws being formulated across the world, hundreds in El Salvador waved green flags to demand to loosen the country's strict abortion laws. The demonstrators marched to the capital, San Salvador, en route to Congress. With the world going through a sea of changes in terms of climate change and due to global warming, there are many who have raised their concerns over the future of the world in lieu of the climatic changes. Climate activist Greta Thunberg addressed delegates at a Milan Youth for Climate conference. Britain's supply chain strain could last until after Christmas. Britain Prime Minister Boris Johnson has admitted as he urged motorists to stop panic buying fuel by insisting that supplies were improving. Thousands of forecourts remained dry. China, on the other hand, witnesses major power supply crisis. Goldman Sachs estimates that 44% of China's industrial activity has been hit by power shortages. In Kabul, residents said that they hope for improvements in healthcare and medicine availability under the Taliban. The WHO's representative to Afghanistan has called on the international community to resume funding of the country's health program. The European Commission today said that the European Union will tighten visa rules for the Belarusian state officials. The decision comes in retaliation for what it called Minsk's aggressive effort to destabilize the bloc by pushing in irregular migrants. Belarusian security forces have shot dead a 31-year-old man during a raid late on Tuesday. The man has been identified by the pro-democracy opposition as an IT worker with a US company called EPAM Systems. The world continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. So far, more than 23 crore 36,29,000 people have been infected by the virus. And the deadly COVID-19 virus has claimed lives of 47,80,000 people worldwide. More than 21 crore 4,46,000 patients have recovered across the globe from COVID-19. The Delta variant of COVID-19 has caused a spike in COVID-19 cases in the United States. Over 4 crore 40,000 people were infected by the virus in the country. COVID-19 related deaths have also increased in the United States. More than 7,11,000 people have lost their lives due to COVID in the country. Russia reported 857 new coronavirus-related deaths, the most in a single day since the pandemic began, and the second day in a row it has set that record. The country reported 22,430 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. New Zealand reported 45 new cases of COVID-19 today, taking the total number of cases in the current outbreak to 1,230. Today's total marks a significant jump in cases, up from just 8 reported on Tuesday. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga said that the country will lift the COVID-19 state of emergency in all regions on Thursday for the first time in nearly 6 months, as the number of cases, new cases and deaths fall and the strain on the medical system eases. Daily cases have dropped across Japan from over 25,000 last month to 1,128 on September 27th. There will be curbs on restaurants and large-scale events for about a month to prevent a resurgence. United Airlines said nearly 600 US-based employees faced termination after failing to comply with the carrier's vaccination policy. The workers can save their jobs if they get vaccinated before their formal termination meetings, the company added. On to business news now. The domestic stock markets have again ruled weak, with the Sensex at the BSE down 254 points or 0.4% to 59,413 on Wednesday. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange dropped 37 points or 0.2% to end at 17,711. But the broader market ended in the green, with the BSE mid-cap index advancing 0.6% and small-cap index climbing 0.4%. Most other key Asian markets also lost considerable ground on Wednesday and were set for their worst quarter since the coronavirus pandemic hit. Worries about economic growth in China, combined with fears of a global slowdown and a strong dollar, pushed stock markets lower. So, MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan fell 0.8% and was heading for a 9.4% decline for the third quarter. Japan's Nikkei 225 index had slumped 2.1%. South Korea's Kospi had lost 1.2%. Back home, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, announced a slew of big-ticket decisions on Tuesday. These include laying a framework for setting up a gold exchange and social stock exchanges, and changes to delisting norms to make mergers and acquisitions more rational. China on Wednesday demanded railway companies and local authorities to raise their game in shipping vital coal supplies to utilities as regions key to the world's second-number economy grapple with power cuts that have crippled their industrial output. Back home again at the MCX, gold had gained 54 rupees to 45,907 rupees per 10 grams, but silver had declined 589 rupees to 59,875 rupees per kilo. At the interbank forex market, the rupee had weakened 11 paise to 74 rupees 15 paise against the dollar. And global crude oil prices fell on Wednesday after US crude inventories unexpectedly rose amid concerns about a slowing Chinese economy. So Brent crude was down 46 cents at $78.63 a barrel. On to sports news now. Indian women will play their first ever pink ball day-night test match during their tour of Australia. Star batter Harmanpreet Kaur won't be available for selection for the upcoming pink ball test against Australia due to a thumb injury. ECB Chairman Ian Watmore has conceded that England's participation in the Ashes could remain in doubt until the plane carrying Joe Root's side leaves for Brisbane on November 6th. One of the youngest US Open champion and tennis sensation now, Raducanu, has been allowed a wildcard entry into the Indian Wells tournament that is scheduled to start from next week. Liverpool cruised to another emphatic victory in Porto with Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino both scoring twice as the Reds won 5-1 in the Champions League. Lionel Messi scored his first Paris Saint-Germain goal in stunning fashion as they beat Manchester City in an enthralling Champions League group game. Pep Guardiola hails Lionel Messi as unstoppable close to the box after his stunning strikes off Man City, as Argentine admits he's very happy to break PSG duck. Real Madrid slumped to a 2-1 defeat by Moldovan side Sheriff Tiraspol in the Champions League as the visitors pulled off one of the biggest shocks in the competition's history. Atletico Madrid striker Luis Suarez scored a winning penalty in the 7th minute of stoppage time against 10-man AC Milan in the Champions League. Borussia Dortmund beat Sporting Lisbon 1-0 to strengthen its bid to qualify from its Champions League group. An 11.5 feet tall puppet depicting a 9-year-old Syrian refugee girl arrived in Geneva as part of an 8,000-kilometer walk across Europe to raise awareness about the plight of young refugees. Little Amal, which means hope in Arabic, started her journey on 27th of July in Gaziantep, Turkey, near the Syrian border. The puppet depicts a refugee girl in search of safety and her mother, who never returned from her attempt to find food. The puppet has been created to raise awareness about the plight of unaccompanied refugee children. In South Korea, a new theme park has been constructed on Jeongdo Island in Chuncheon in the middle of Wamho Lake. This Legoland has a 59-meter tall observatory tower that offers a full view of the lake. The theme park is Korea's first Legoland and the 10th one globally. It is 280,000 square meters in size. It will open on the 5th of May next year when Children's Day is celebrated in Korea. France's traditional La Bise greeting, a kiss on each cheek, is slowly making a comeback as coronavirus cases recede there. Bestowed on family, friends or anyone else in an informal setting, La Bise was de facto banned when the pandemic was at peak. Christian Dior showcased a burst of colourful 1960s to 1970s flavoured mini dresses at the Paris Fashion Week. Dozens of brands will show their collections to in-person audiences in the French capital through 5th of October. French fashion house Yves Saint Laurent returned to the runway for an in-person fashion show under the Eiffel Tower. A lineup of skin-tight bodysuits and sharply tailored evening wear added extra glamour to the Paris Fashion Week. In some good news for movie buffs, Marty McFly's hoverboard in Back to the Future Part 2, Stormtrooper helmet worn in Return of the Jedi, massive selection of movie memorabilia worth $7.5 million will be auctioned in London from 9th to 11th of November. The auction will be carried out by film and television memorabilia company Prop Store. It will also include a full-size T-800 endoskeleton from Terminator 2 Judgment Day and Brad Pitt's Achilles sword from Troy. In Japan, a turtle found on a runway at Narita Airport disrupted airport traffic, causing flights to delay. The reptile was spotted by a pilot. Back home in Himachal Pradesh's Shimla city, young exiled Tibetan Buddhist monks from different countries are getting Buddhist teachings to carry their lineage and school forward. To carry forward the teachings of Buddhism, young lamas were seen chanting Buddhist verses and memorizing scriptures. They're also learning science, mathematics, computer science and English to gain an overall knowledge of the contemporary world. A shop in Gujarat, Surat, is serving Italian delicacy in a desi way. The eatery is leaving all visitors enthralled and jaw-dropped with its creativity by serving pizza in a clay cup, which is called kullad in India. The kullad pizza is made with the right mixture of vegetables and sauces along with other ingredients. On top there is some mouth-watering cheese and the eatable is being served piping hot to food lovers. On to entertainment news now. No Time to Die, the 25th James Bond title, had its world premiere at London's Royal Albert Hall late on Tuesday. The glitzy, star-studded event welcomed Daniel Craig, Lashana Lynch along with several fellow cast members. Britain's Prince Charles and his son Prince William and their wives Camilla and Kate were among the guests at the delayed world premiere of No Time to Die. The film begins its cinema rollout this week and is among the most anticipated movies this autumn. Daniel Craig said he wanted to keep the Aston Martin car from No Time to Die movie and was not very impressed with the company when he wasn't allowed to do that. British actor Timothy Spall rode into Zurich for the premiere of his latest movie, The Last Bus. The film explores themes of mourning and mortality as an elderly man played by Spall travels around the United Kingdom to scatter the ashes of his late wife. French-Canadian singer Celine Dion will soon have a documentary that will be directed by Oscar-nominated filmmaker Irene Taylor. The film will cover Dion's many accomplishments, including the iconic album releases, awards and accolades, world tours and Las Vegas residencies. Actress Helena Bonham Carter will rejoin stars Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill for a new Enola Holmes mystery. The actress plays Eudora Holmes, the matriarch of the famous sleuthing family, in the series that is based on Nancy Springer's books. A cassette tape recording of an interview with John Lennon and Yoko Ono, including a never-released song made while they visited Denmark in 1970, sold for $58,300 at an auction in Copenhagen. It was not immediately known who the buyer is. Back home, Vidyut Jammal's star Sana, Hope Under Siege, is set to release on 15th of October on Disney Plus Hotstar. The film will also see Bengali actress Rukmani Maitra, Neha Dhupia and Chandan Roy Sanyal, among others. The film is a hostage drama. On actor Ranbir Kapoor's 39th birthday, the makers of his upcoming film Shamshera released a teaser for his look in the film. The film also stars Vani Kapoor and Sanjay Dutt. Shamshera is set to release in theatres on 18th of March next year. And Ali Fazal has bagged a nomination in the Best Actor category at the Asia Content Awards by the Busan International Film Festival. Ali has been nominated for his portrayal of Ispit Nair in Forget Me Not segment of the Netflix anthology series. And that's it in this edition of Express News. We will be back tomorrow same time with the top 100 news of the day. So until we meet next, you take very good care of yourself and keep following COVID appropriate behavior at all times. Namaskar.
Namaste land.
مرحبا